and it still isn't. Okay, so this is the first thing. We can be critical about that. We can ask for change about that. We can ask, and we are asking, you are, we are, many people are, countries are officially and unofficially and formally asking for the adoption of a multilateral system. Concept, philosophy, philosophically, it's better that if it's that way. Secondly, you ask, I mean, restraints, constraints and restrictions, I mean, imposed by this bilateral system now. Possibly many ones, like for instance, the fact that by being just American, North American, the agreement allows a kind of American-leaning possibility of the action of the ICANN, like protecting, like defending American enterprise interests and things like that. I mean, like, so this is a second critical point about it, you know, that upon which we can pose our questions and ask for a different form of arrangement, and so. I mean, many. In many ways, would be preferable, you know, to have a multilateral arrangement and a multilateral institution, so that we could avoid this kind of protectionism, you know, or whatever, this kind of inclination towards an American. Establishing an American face for the ICANN and its actions, leading to naturally to what kind of format we would propose. We have this multi-stakeholder format that's been proposed by the forum itself. We think, in Brazil, we think that it could go forward, like not just at the UN environment system, that could sort of go a little broader, a little, you know, like by absorbing the informality that goes around the internet, so that we could go for something like Broadband. Madame Brundtland was proposing for the environment, you know, like an international institution, an international governance institution that would be formed by states, the national states, in one instance, like a Senate or something, and then a camera for the civil society as a second, and then a third that would sort of anchor this variation, you know, this varying possibilities of institutional formats that we have. And the institution would be like threefold institution: governments, civil societies, and NGOs, like the academy, the universities, I mean, the NGOs in general. I mean, we are open to the discussion. What I think we have established as a specific point, and supporting the demand, supporting our demand, is the fact that it should be multilateral. You know, evolve from just a bilateral thing, you know, run, so to speak, by the United States, you know, to something that would be really international with, you know, all the countries, all the people, all the institutional world. I mean, this is the position that, this is the format that we look for, this is the position that we defend in Brazil, both the society in Brazil and the Brazilian government.
Yeah, if I may, I'm going to ask a follow-up, because I'm going to try to choose my words very carefully here. Because I realize these are controversial issues, and in some senses,
it is, and it's going to be.
Views are very entrenched. And I think to further question this is to risk looking like I'm entrenched in one camp. Which I'm certainly not. In fact, sort of conceptually, any notion of liberal democratic theory has to see a lot wrong with the idea that something that's as important to democracy and to cultural life worldwide is legally set up in this kind of fashion. But at the same time, when we look at the countries that are also supporting the idea that there needs to be an intergovernmental body to run this. I mean, we're looking at Iran and Cuba and China. I mean, first of all, this is at North Korea, and you've got George Bush's axis of evil. And I can't rectify Brazil's openness in so many other respects towards digital culture and towards progressive uses of these technologies for interesting cultural development and open and collaborative, etc., with purposely opting into George Bush's axis of evil. But on the other hand, we also know how some of those countries use those technologies. And we know, in some respects, why they want more control for their own governments over them. So, I guess sell me on the advantages in terms of openness and cultural development.
The fact that by being inside an organization, an international organization, they would be more sort of obliged to be in and not out. This is something very easy to understand for me, at least. I mean, by being part of like Iran or China or whatever, they want to be very autonomous in terms of their own policies, and even to stop it and everything. If they, by any chance, come to be part of an international board, an international institution, they would be exposed to more international control, to more international instructive process. I wouldn't say control. They would be instructed, they would be vulnerable, they would be obliged to share positions and to share concepts and to share, I mean, this is my understanding. I mean, if you agree, if you do things by yourself, okay. If you do it with me, your individual possibility to be, just you becomes divided. You have to be a little you. You have to be a little me. The same goes for myself. If I am in a body, with you and with him.
As long as I get the hair. As long as I get your hair.
Yeah, as long as I get you.